So this morning, when I was sitting in my meditation as usual, I could feel my heart racing. It was pounding, and my thoughts were racing. And no matter what I did, I couldn't stop thinking about stuff that I still have to do. And I had to fight the urge of getting up, of starting doing something. All I wanted to do is do things, because my mind was just pushing me and sending me more images and tasks while I was just trying to be there, sitting there in quiet. And it's because I felt like a failure, like I have not done what I should been doing. And I was getting so anxious in a moment where I actually wanted to calm down, and not even calming down, not even meditation helped me. So I sat down and I wrote something as a reminder, and I think you feel sometimes like I did, and not just in meditation, also when you're just standing somewhere waiting in line, when you're talking to a person. If you're like me, then you feel anxious. And I wrote a little list of affirmations for myself and for you, and they are very simple and very hard to actually keep in mind when we struggle, when things are getting hard. So keep these reminders close to your heart. For the first one, let's talk about failure first. For many years, I wanted to create a YouTube channel. I've been collecting ideas. I've been watching many videos and looking for inspiration, and I could not get myself to do it. I just felt so drawn towards that platform. I always wanted to make videos, but something was holding me back. And this is where I failed. I just didn't do it. I just collected stuff, and it was piling up, all the list of ideas and things I would like to do, and I just had this urge to do it, but I never did. And then I started making videos, and I started a YouTube channel. The first channel I had was a travel channel where I'm just vlogging and documenting my travels on my motorbike through Indonesia. And I was very proud of my videos, and I actually just lately looked at them and I squirmed because they were so bad. I mean, at least the first ones. And I filmed them with an iPhone, with an old iPhone, and I edited it like a lunatic. But I started. So I made a lot of mistakes, and it's one of my character traits to try to think in advance and think about all the possibilities before I even do something. I read books, I write concepts, I write a plan, so I don't have to actually do the thing. So here's the reminder for you and for me. Making mistakes does not mean you failed. It's actually quite the opposite. Making mistakes is part of our success. We are failing our way to success, so to speak. So remember, making mistakes doesn't mean you failed. The second affirmation I want to talk about is about judgment. And I cannot tell you how many times I've entered a room where I was thinking all eyes are on me. I thought people stare at the new jacket I'm wearing, because obviously it looks super silly now that I'm wearing it in public. So, and as a teenager, I was so busy just thinking about or worrying about what other people think of me. And I don't know if you heard of the spotlight effect, but this pretty much describes what is actually going on. And the spotlight effect is like a psychological phenomenon, and it describes the tendency to overestimate how much other people notice or judge us, our actions and our appearance. So we are really very biased when it comes to how we see the world. We are only seeing our own perspectives, we hear our own thoughts only, and we just look at our body, what we are doing, what we are wearing, and we assume that others observe us with the same intensity that we observe ourselves, and they judge us. But it turns out people aren't judging you as much as you think. That's affirmation number 2, something I really have to remind myself a lot. And it's so funny because when I'm busy worrying about the t-shirt I'm wearing, when I'm entering a room, the person next to me worries if he looks attractive enough for his date, and another person across the room is embarrassed because she just spilled a drink and thinks everybody secretly laughed at her right now. But that's nonsense. And people are very, very busy with their own stuff. So think of the spotlight effect, and people aren't judging you as much as you think. So number 3 I want to give you right away is you've overcome many challenges before. And I know, you will probably want to disagree with me. I know it's very, very instinctive to just say, well, I don't even remember challenges I overcame, but you did. And I can tell you one thing. If you're watching this right now, then the one thing I know about you is that you are still here. You made it through every panic, every bad night, every moment you thought would break you. You might not feel strong, but you have shown a lot of strength. You have survived. You have been facing many situations that were hard for you. And no matter what happened, you are still here. And that counts for more than you think. And fight the urge of just disagreeing with me right now. Just try to take this in and accept it as a reality. Because the problem really is, not that you overcome challenges, that you didn't have challenges. The problem is that you just don't want to see it. You just want to walk around thinking that you don't overcome stuff. And I believe me, I know how that feels like. You thinking, okay, I have not overcome anything. I'm just fighting, an uphill battle. I'm just looking around. Everybody else around me is more successful, overcoming their challenges, but I am still here. I am still stuck. But it's not the case. You are progressing. So be aware of your resistance to see the good things that you have done, the important things that you have done, and be proud of yourself. Oh, number 4 is a big one, and it is about thoughts. And if you are like me, then you are struggling with intrusive thoughts. And boy, are there many. I thought I know what intrusive thoughts are, what mine are. But I did some research, and there's actually a lot of things that people think of, and a lot of dark stuff. I will not go into detail here, but it ranges basically from, what if I drop that baby in my arms? Or thoughts like, everybody secretly hates me, right? Something like that. My own personal favorite is, what if I crash right into the car in front of me? I don't know why, but I'm just imagining car accidents all the time when I'm driving. But here's the thing. These thoughts are just thoughts. And so you don't have to believe them. Please don't believe them most of the time. The thing is with thoughts, we have them in our head. They're just generating words or noise or images. And we make the mistake that this machinery of thoughts is actually a part of us. That is actually part of me. Of me, Patrick. Like, I am my thoughts. So it is so easy to just think that this is true, since it's coming from me. It's me producing these thoughts, and it's a certain source of truth, because it's like the only thing that I actually hear. So I'm very biased because I only can hear my thoughts. But imagine if every thought would be true, everything everybody else would be thinking would be true as well. And I don't think that this works well. So, and what is so nasty about these intrusive thoughts is obviously that we don't want them, because they're so disturbing, because they can turn so dark, because they can make our life miserable. But the worst thing, in my opinion, is that we cannot control them. They just pop up in our mind. But there are 2 things that we can do about these intrusive thoughts. And the most important thing is to remind yourself, thoughts are just thoughts. Remind yourself that you are not your thoughts. they are just a figment of your imagination, really. They don't represent you. They are just noise in the background, and maybe they sometimes have good advice for you, but most of the time, it is just noise. And I know, even though you know that this is just stuff that happens in your mind, it happens to you, even though you can detach a little bit. It's still hard to just say, well, stop it. I don't want to think that, right? Of course, we cannot just stop it. It's still hard sometimes to not believe this stuff. But we can do something else that is very helpful, at least for me. You have to figure it out if it works for you. But I may not be able to change, to control the thought that I'm thinking now that pops up in my mind. But what I can do, and I think many people underestimate the power of that, is that I can choose a new thought. So if I sit here, I have an intrusive thought like, oh, what about the baby? I could drop the baby. I could send a new thought into my mind thinking, hey, is there something great I can think right now? Like something, wow, this baby is cute. And I'm grateful for holding that baby. This baby is beautiful. And I love the mother who has given me that baby. Or if you have intrusive thoughts about like, hey, everybody hates me, you could start thinking something slightly better, right? Something like, hey, there are some people that don't hate me. I know a few people that have shown me friendship, right? You see, it's not about finding like thoughts that are so extremely just positive, like from everybody hates me. If you say then, like everybody loves me, I know for a fact that I wouldn't believe that. It's way too extreme on the other side of the spectrum, and I think you would be thinking the same. It would be too much, right? So we should go in incremental steps from everybody hates me to something that is just slightly more positive and more realistic. And we can develop thinking like that. And like anything else, thinking in different perspectives, opening our minds to new perspectives, reframing our thoughts is like a muscle, something that we can train over time. It will get better and more automatic. So remember, thoughts are just thoughts. Don't always believe them. Affirmation number 5 I want to talk about is about our relationship with the future. And it's a toxic relationship because we're so busy thinking about the future, projecting things onto the future that we don't know, right? That we actually forget to be where we should be, and that is here, now. So the affirmation is, the only real thing is now, the presence. And it's certainly more real than our fear of the future, our anxiety. For many years, I actually made the mistake of thinking the past and the future are something real. And if you never thought about that, it might sound like a conspiracy theory for you. But think about it. I mean, literally, think a thought right now. Think about the future. Think about what you would do tomorrow. And now think, where is this thought happening? It's happening in your brain, mind, body, wherever. And when is that thought happening? That thought happens right now. It cannot happen tomorrow. It's what you think about is about tomorrow, but this tomorrow is just happening in your mind, And so the same is about memories that you think about, Many of our memories are not even accurate, right? We just remember stuff. We have images in our mind, but they are not even a representation of what actually happened years ago. So these things are happening right now. And that is the only thing that is actually real, the presence. And we even if we are derailing into daydreaming, if we're anxious, all that stuff happens in the now. But we spend too much time in our head in these moments. It's not the best now that we can be in, because we're in our head and just worrying instead of taking in our environment, instead of noticing our body, instead of noticing that we are thinking, right? Instead of being really, really there, we're wasting our moment. Everything that we do happens now. even anxiety, even joy, even peace. So when anxiety pulls you into the future, when it whispers stories about what might go wrong, you don't have to argue with it. You just have to come back to your body, to your breath, to the presence. It's not about silencing every thought, but it's about realizing that your thoughts are just that, thoughts. And that the only place where you actually exist is here. So the next time when your mind is buzzing and you're busy thinking all these things and thinking about the future and worrying about all the scenarios, remind yourself, I am here now. The only thing that really exists is now. And I am safe now. Wow, that was really beautiful. I really enjoyed sharing that with you, these reminders, very personal things. I feel a bit vulnerable sharing that with you. And I would be so curious if you have any thoughts on that, if you think these affirmations were helpful, if you have affirmations yourself, if you have something that your anxiety wants you to forget, and if you have a reminder for yourself for these moments, I would be super grateful if you could share this with me. And well, that's about it. The next video comes next week. So thank you so much for watching and for being here with me. Have a great day. Bye bye.